What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, guys, we are back with another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review video. But today we are not going to be doing a Hot Toys figure. Today we're going to do a third-party company figure. So today we're gonna do our first ever review for the company Thunder Toys. They released this figure, which is Venom from Spider-Man 3, from the Spider-Man trilogy or the Raimi trilogy, whatever you guys want to go ahead and call it. This is a figure that I am very excited about, guys. Again, for those of you guys who have watched my videos in the past, you guys know that I am one of the biggest Raimi trilogy, Spider-Man trilogy fans. And obviously this villain is one that Hot Toys has never released, unfortunately. But Thunder Toys did us a big favor and released this guy. So first and foremost, want to thank Thunder Toys for doing the figure, for releasing it. And so today we're gonna go ahead and unbox this guy. As always, before I do start on the video, want to thank you guys for the continued support and for all that you guys do for me. If it is the first time that you are watching me, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notifications bell for more upcoming content. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started on the video. Okay, guys, so we begin with the box. So with the box, this one is very small compared to what I was expecting, and it is a little bit smaller than your regular Hot Toys box. So we do have this white color theme box with the Venom logo at the top and the name of the figure at the bottom. For some reason, we have alien hosts, which I really would not understand why. I think I might have a reason as to why, and I'll explain that a little bit later on in the video. But again, it is a white colored. We get to the right side and we see that division in the middle where we pretty much would open the box to get the figure. Now on the back, so we have the warning and legal signs along with the name of the figure, but the background is so awesome. So we pretty much have kind of like the suit webbing that looks really cool. Same thing with the left, we have the white coloring and the black coloring on the other side. So honestly, the box itself is really good, but if we look at the bottom and also the top of the box, there are no names as far as the movie, the figure, nothing. It's just pretty much the coloring, which is really cool, right? But something to note so far. Now we get to the figure itself. So shockingly, we get a foam cover. Now the reason I say shockingly is just because I'm just comparing it to like the Venom figure for Tom Hardy, so that's kind of what I'm basing my thoughts as to the covering. But I'm glad that it does include the foam cover. Now getting this guy for the first time, honestly guys, he is super massive. He is heavy, a really heavy figure. Honestly, he might be even heavier than Tom Hardy's figure. That's how heavy this guy is. But honestly, off to a good start. I love how the suit looks. Everything looks pretty good so far. Obviously we would review the figure a little bit more into detail, but for now, off to a really good start. So as you guys know, we're first gonna get started with the accessories, then we'll do a couple of side-by-side comparisons, and then eventually we'll go ahead and do posing and my final thoughts on the figure, as well as reviewing the figure fully in detail. Okay guys, with the accessories, so sadly this is all we get. We don't really get a lot with this figure. Again, not a complaint. Again, I'm just very thankful to Thunder Toys for doing this. It really means a lot that they went back and did a figure that nobody has had the guts to do in 1/6 scale. But we first get with the base. The base itself is pretty much just this black box. Sadly, there's no webbing, there's no designs, there's no names, there's nothing. The base itself is just a black box. It does come with a crotch grabber at the very top, as you guys can see, but there are no designs whatsoever. A little bit disappointed about that. Again, here's the crotch grabber where the figure would hold. It doesn't come with any type of flying stick either, so that we can pose the figure in different ways. So kind of a disappointment in my personal opinion. Now, what it does come with, and this is such a great idea, it comes with this little drawer, guys, where you guys are actually able to put some of its accessories, so that way you guys don't have to, put them in the box or have to, get the box or anything to get some of the accessories. You guys can just put it in the drawer, and it's gonna make it a lot easier to go ahead and get those things for the figure. Now, to me, this is the main event of the figure. This absolutely beautiful head sculpt. They they did phenomenal with the head sculpt. As you guys can see, all the details, the way that his eyes are and the way that the spider webbing is, it is perfect. The only complaint is the tongue. I don't remember Venom really having a tongue throughout the whole movie scene, but as you guys can see, all the detailing with the saliva on its teeth and also the tongue, it looks so awesome. The spider webbing looks great. It's not glossy either, and that's the way it's supposed to be, because this figure isn't glossy in any way. So this face sculpt is perfect to me. Again, only the tongue, but other than that, everything looks great. The coloring of the teeth, the eyes, everything just looks so awesome. I am very impressed with that face sculpt. Now this one right here with the actual Eddie face sculpt, well, he doesn't look like Topher Grace, and I understand that, right? But what I will give Thunder Toys is that the way that the Venom symbiote is kind of consuming the figure, it looks so awesome, and the facial expression is very creepy. I'll give them that. They did a fantastic job with that. The figure looks really creepy. Well, I'm sorry, the face sculpt looks really creepy. Again, doesn't look like Topher Grace, and again, I am assuming as to I would assume that I know why that is. Again, I will explain that a little bit later on in the video, but those would be the two face sculpts that the figure has. It does come with this kind of accessory, which would be kind of part of his symbiote suit. I would assume that you guys are able to connect that to his hands if you kind of want to have him, displaying some type of spider web effect. Again, what I really appreciate is that these pieces and accessories aren't glossy, because again, the suit isn't glossy at all compared to Tom Hardy's Venom. So it looks really good. It does come also with these pieces of hands. So we have 4 hands in total. We don't have any closed fists. We do have, however, pretty much his hands wide open. Again, the coloring of the suit and the texture is perfect because it's not supposed to be glossy. Again, I want to confirm that. So it looks really good. My only complaint with these hands are his fingernails. They're supposed to be the same color as the teeth, which are kind of like a dirty type of white or yellowish type of color. And unfortunately, they made them black as well. So that doesn't match the figure. But other than that, they look really good. Here come the other 2 pieces of hands. So pretty much these are kind of with his claws type of, his fingers kind of bented so that it hasn't portrayed one pose of where he's fighting, if I would say. Again, they're very well made. It's just those fingernails, right, that kind of is kind of a small issue for me. I wish they would have included closed fists, but they don't. But well, that is all that we have for the accessories. I would say they look really good so far, especially that Venom face sculpt. It is absolutely amazing. Okay guys, so now reviewing this guy in full detail. So as you guys can see, the body type, it isn't perfect. Again, I don't want to be too critical because at the end of the day, the pricing of this figure is very low compared to a Hot Toys figure. And at the same time, I am just very thankful that Thunder Toys decided to go ahead and release this guy. So looking at the face sculpt, so again, connected to the body, obviously we can see it's not seamless. The connection isn't perfect, but at least the head does rotate very well. So at least you guys are able to display the figure in different ways. We take a look pretty much on the back. The spider webbing effect doesn't really match with the neck, but to be honest with you guys, that's not an issue, because I would say that the spider web effect on his suit is all over the place, so there really isn't any like type of specific pattern. So I don't have an issue with that. Now, something that I really love is the spider logo. It looks really good. And again, the body type, I would say as far as the top, it looks great, but my issues would be at the bottom. So to me, the legs do look a little skinny, and my biggest issue is with the knees. As you guys can see, the knees look really weird. At the bottom with his feet, they do bend really nicely. The suit does kind of fold a little bit, but not too much. But I'm glad that the feet do bend and it's completely seamless, so I don't have an issue with that. By the way, my apologies here. The camera is kind of starting to lose a little bit of a focus, so I apologize about that. Now, with the articulation, so the legs do bend really nicely, and I really appreciate that. As you guys can see, they fold really easily, but unfortunately, the body type isn't great. So as you guys can see, the knees just look really weird, and it makes the legs look kind of awkward, but the good thing is that the legs do bend, so we do have a lot of options when it comes to posing this guy. So you guys can just pretty much decide. The legs do stretch sideways as well, so that's a good thing as well, and that's something that's not included with the Tom Hardy Venom figure. He is pretty flexible, but not as flexible as this guy. This guy, as you guys can see, the hands fold very, very nicely without any issues. And to me, as I've said before, the top part of his body is really nice. My only issue would be with the bottom part of the body for this Venom figure. Another thing that I really love is that the suit is completely seamless. There are no divisions like, you know, between his chest piece and his shoulders, or the legs or his feet. Everything's fully connected. The only thing that it's, you know, that where there's like a split would be with the head sculpt, but that's because it comes with multiple ones. So I completely understand, but as you guys can see with the articulations, the figure is very flexible, so I really appreciate that. Again, it gives us a lot of options when it comes to posing the guy, so no issues as far as articulations. I feel like the figure does bend really nicely. My only issue would be is that the body isn't a full body, but other than that, everything looks really, really good. Now, with this face sculpt, which to me is absolutely awesome, to me this would be the perfect look on this figure. Again, the connection with the headpiece and the neck isn't perfect, right? But again, I want to make sure I'm being fully honest about this. It's not really a complaint. Again, the price of the figure is really low compared to Hot Toys, so I really can't complain about the figure. Everything looks really, really good. The body type isn't the greatest, but I do love how he looks. Again, I can tell he's Venom from Spider-Man 3, and with this face sculpt, I think it looks really awesome. So I really cannot complain too much about the figure. Now, in this case, guys, because of the lack of accessories that we had with the figure, since we really didn't spend a lot of time with them, I'm going to include an extra side-by-side comparison. So today we're going to do 3. My first one would be with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. The reason I'm doing him, first and foremost, I don't have the Tobey Maguire figure yet, which I'm very disappointed by. The reason I'm doing Andrew is because all of us fans want to see a movie between him and Tom Hardy's Venom. Maybe it's just me, but I've seen a lot of fans do that. So might as well just do a comparison, right? As you guys can see, this Venom figure is a little taller than Andrew Garfield, but I'll be honest, I don't think he's as tall as he should be. Now, I'm not going to go out and say that he should be as tall as Tom Hardy's Venom, because that would just not make any sense. But I do remember, at least in the Spider-Man 3 movie, that he was at least kind of like much taller than Tobey's Spider-Man. Maybe it's just me, so I do feel like the figure isn't tall enough. He's probably by an inch, maybe 2 inches shorter than what he should be, but at least he is a little bit taller. The body is a little buffer than Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, so that's a good thing at least. But I still feel like the figure could be a little buffer, especially from the chest area as well as the legs. And speaking of Tom Hardy's Venom, we get to the second comparison. So I understand that this comparison might not be fair at all because the figures are completely different, but it is the same character, and we're talking about Venoms. So obviously, you know, Tom Hardy's Venom is better as far as the suit, the glossiness, the detailing, especially the face sculpt. It's so awesome, Tom Hardy's Venom's face sculpt, and obviously all of the accessories that it comes with. But one thing that I will give the Spider-Man 3 Venom is that the suit is completely seamless. One of my issues with the Venom figure from Tom Hardy is that the way that it separates between the chest piece and the legs and the arms, I understand that that helps the suit be more flexible, but still it doesn't look that great. Hopefully, if Hot Toys releases a future Venom, we can get a better joint as far as the whole body. With this Spider-Man 3 Venom, again, it is completely seamless, and the suit is not glossy at all, right? So those are the differences between these Venoms. Obviously, the Tom Hardy Venom is a little bit more natural as far as the suit. As you guys can see, it even has the toes and feet. The other Venom doesn't. He has shoes, so it is a little bit more natural for Tom Hardy's Venom. And by the way, that's another thing that I just noticed, right? That it's supposed to be toes, if I'm not mistaken. So that's probably one thing that they missed. But this would be the comparison between these two Venoms that have been released over the last couple of years. And then the third and final comparison would be with another villain from the Raimi movies. So I went ahead and did the Goblin. Why? I'm not sure, right? I just thought it would be a good idea, right? So as you guys can see, here's where I have the issue with the height. So pretty much these characters are the same height, as far as here with, I'm sorry, the figures are the same height. Now obviously Goblin's helmet, you know, helps him, right? It makes him taller than what he actually is supposed to be, but still, right, even with the helmet, I do believe that Venom should be a little bit taller than the Goblin, right? I don't feel like he is tall enough, and again, he's not as thick as he is in the movie. Again, he's not supposed to be Tom Hardy thick, right? But he's supposed to be, you know, at least a little bit thicker than what he is displayed here. But again, these two are amazing villains from the Raimi movies. Love them both. Obviously, we know that with the with this Venom, we wish we would get more screen time, a better storyline. But either way, it is a character that I personally did enjoy a lot, and he was very creepy and scary throughout the movie. So this would be my final side-by-side comparison. Okay guys, so finally we get to the end of the video, which is the posing and my final thoughts on this figure. So I still like this figure a lot. Obviously it's got its issues, but at the same time, that's why the pricing on it is a little bit less than your Hot Toys type of figure, because again, the quality isn't going to be the greatest. But either way, it is a figure that I am very happy to have. Again, it's a part of my favorite movie trilogy, which is the Raimi Spider-Man movies. So very happy to finally have him. And again, I just keep asking myself, what the hell is Hot Toys waiting for to release this guy? You know, I've been waiting so long for a Venom figure from that movie. And again, I just want to thank Thunder Toys for doing their job in releasing this guy. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video about them not having the name of the figure or any type of logos or anything like that. I think that the reason why, and I might be mistaken, and I apologize if I am, but I believe that Thunder Toys is kind of like an unlicensed company. I think the only licensed company would be Hot Toys for these 1/6 scale figures. So I think that's why they're not able to include the actual name of the figure or the actual names of the movies and things like that. So I think that's what's going on. I might be incorrect. I apologize if I am. But either way, that's really not too much of an issue for me. Now for the base, I wish they would have done at least some type of, you know, spider web effect or something, just like they did with the box. But again, I want to make sure I am honest about this. I am not complaining about the figure. I am very happy to have him and just very thankful for Thunder Toys for doing this for us as fans. Also, in comparison to Tom Hardy's Venom, so to me, it's obvious that Tom Hardy has the better Venom suit. It's more complete, the figure's more massive, and the face sculpt is just so awesome. But in all honesty, guys, to me, I prefer the character of this Venom. To me, he's just creepy, he's scary, he was evil. Even though we didn't really get a lot of screen time, which is one of my biggest regrets as a fan of the Raimi movies, he still was very creepy and very scary, and is a character that I really appreciated a lot. So again, very happy to have him as a collectible figure. Before I end the video, guys, so wanted to make a big announcement. So as I said to you guys before, I've been wanting to do a collection tour for the longest, and I know that I've kind of delayed that a lot. So just an FYI, guys, my next video will be a collection tour. It is time for me to finally do one. I will be dropping a collection tour video on Saturday, so stay tuned in for that. I am very excited to finally drop a collection tour. It has been a long time coming, so I'm finally going to do one on Saturday. If you do want to stay updated on that, again, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notifications bell so that way you guys stay ready for my collection tour. Also, I want to remind you that I am on TikTok and Instagram. The links to that are on the description of the video. Feel free to follow me there so that way you guys stay updated as far as when I'm going to be dropping my collection tour, at what time specifically. Again, it will be Saturday. Won't know yet about the time, but just know that the collection tour will be coming this Saturday, so stay tuned in for that. Again, before I end the video, guys, want to thank you as always for the continued support. Thank you so much for always supporting me and for liking and watching all of my videos. Again, if it is the first time that you're watching me, feel free to subscribe, like this video, and hit the notifications bell so that way you stay updated with all of my upcoming content, which would include the collection tour. But for now, guys, this is going to be it for this video. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I will see you next time, which will be Saturday.